brain imaging is getting a quantum upgrade, and we are joined by Professor Matthew Brookes to talk about how lightweight wearable scanners using quantum sensors could reshape how we study and diagnose brain disorders. Welcome, and thank you for joining.
Thank you.
I first need to understand what is MECS and how can these smaller wearable scanners make a difference?
So in MEG, what we do is we measure the magnetic fields, the very small magnetic fields that are generated by the flow of current through neural assemblies. So our brains are electrical, they communicate with themselves and with the rest of our bodies by sending very small electrical currents, and those electrical currents generate these magnetic fields which change to support ongoing cognition. So if we measure the magnetic fields, we can infer what our brains are doing and our brain activity.
So what are the advantages with this new system?
So there are four main advantages. The first one, because our sensors get closer to the head, we pick up a bigger signal, so we get better data. Because the sensors are on the scalp surface, it can adapt to any head size, so whether it's a baby or an adult, we get the same sensitivity. Because the sensors are very lightweight, they move with the head, so you can move freely during a scan. And finally, it's a lot cheaper.
And as I understand, this can actually help with diagnosing autism, dementia, some of these concerns?
Yeah. The biggest clinical application is in epilepsy. So in around a third of epilepsy cases, the disease is not well controlled by drugs. And those patients become candidates for surgery, where you remove the resected brain region. But it's very, very hard to find that brain region. MRI doesn't work all the time, EEG doesn't have the spatial resolution. This technology can pinpoint it with millimeter accuracy, and that's obviously very useful information for surgeons.
Fantastic. If we're fasting forward 5 years, 10 years, do you think we're going to see this system already in use, or are we looking further ahead?
No, I think certainly for epilepsy, so conventional MEG is used in epilepsy, but it's incredibly expensive. These systems are much cheaper. Even at this relatively early stage in their development, they're less than 50% of the cost of a conventional MEG, and that cost will hopefully come down. The big barrier at the moment is medical device approval, so we need to get this, this technology approved by the regulatory bodies. But I think within 2 or 3 years, we'll start to see this emerging in hospitals, certainly for epilepsy. And then I think there'll be applications beyond epilepsy as well. You mentioned dementia.
Yeah.
So we can see effects in dementia. You get sort of low frequency abnormalities in brainwaves in dementia that may be used as an early marker. Autism, you get effects, so delayed responses in the auditory cortex. I think another big area is concussion. So we can see altered connectivity, so how one part of the brain talks to another part of the brain. We can measure that, and that becomes diminished even after a single concussion.
So actually a lot of opportunities and a lot to look forward to, it sounds like. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Pleasure.
Thanks for watching, but now an important disclaimer. The content of this video is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Viewers should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice for any medical condition they may have, and should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions.